So this, it could have cost me £500,000, but it's actually cost me £163,000.
Did you actually get a quote for 500,000?
Of course I got a quote for 500,000.
Be honest.
Right, okay, well, if I did get a quote, then it would have been 500,000.
Wrong answer.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get any quotes, but if I did get one, I think it would have been about 500,000.
It's not really a direct comparison because people can see that you still need to spend money.
Yeah, that's right.
Be honest.
Okay, but it's complicated.
Wrong answer.
Okay, I've spent 163,000, but I probably need to spend a lot more.
Thank you.
You can probably see that some content creators can be a little bit misleading, shall we say. But if you're interested in the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I will tell you exactly how much this costs. When I say how much this costs, I mean just this building alone, just this. Now, at the end of the video, I will tell you how much I've got left to finish this, and we can probably have a little bit of a game and see whether you agree whether I can finish it within that amount. So at some point in the future, I will have a cost breakdown of absolutely everything on site, but for now, I'm going to tell you what this doesn't include, and then I'll tell you what it does include. Oh, the amount, it is 163,000. It doesn't include this nice brick boundary wall. It doesn't include my extra tools that I bought, like the scaffolding or my antique digger. It doesn't include this, which is our temporary home, but it will be our office / garage in the future. It doesn't include the lands, the cost of all the professional services, the planning, the structural engineers, the insurance, site insurance and stuff. Doesn't include my shipping containers. Doesn't include the caravan that I had to live in to begin with. Doesn't include my dumper. Doesn't include my electrical connection. Doesn't include my solar panels. Doesn't include this big shed that I built to house all of the pumping equipment for the borehole. Doesn't include the actual borehole itself, or any of the pumping equipment or the water connection or anything like that. Doesn't include this nice little sitting garden area. Oh, it doesn't include my water sewage treatment plant, which is just under here. I think you're getting the idea. So it's just 163,000 just for that alone, and that is basically a shell of a building that is wind and watertight plus the insulation. Some of you won't know that that originally started as a barn, so this cost doesn't include the major demolition that I done myself. It doesn't include the asbestos that I removed, the skips that I paid for. It doesn't include the grab trucks, none of that. So let's address that 500,000 figure. Now, if I was to basically get someone else to do everything on a turnkey basis, you'd looking at probably like 2,500 to 3,000 a square metre. The building there is roughly 175 metres squared, so yeah, 500,000, you could probably say that. I'll quickly show you what the building looks like. That is the north side, that is the east facing side as well. That's the south side, and that is the west side. So on the south side, this is where we have the front door, which is technically at the back. We enter into what we refer to as the extension. At the back there, there'll be a plant room, utility room in the middle, entrance, hallway type thing, cloakroom there. This in here, which is called the gable room, that's going to have the kitchen here. There'll be a wall. At the back of that, there'll be a TV room as well. Everything is going to remain vaulted. So you can see it's just literally an empty shell. Down here is the bedroom side. We've got 3 bedrooms. There's going to be a family bathroom and then an ensuite in the main bedroom, all vaulted again. You get the idea. My game plan was to pay a main contractor to shell the main house minus the windows, whilst I built the cart lodge so we could live in that first. I probably could have done it cheaper if I got my own contractors in, but I didn't want to project manage that initial stage, even though I ended up doing that anyway. That's another story. Some of you have seen the videos already. I couldn't get the quotes in. That's what it comes down to. I tried to get loads of quotes. I probably asked for like 8 different quotes just to shell the building, and I didn't get, well, I got one and the one that I went with, it was completely the wrong way of going about it. Do not do this, but it's just the way that it worked out. I think I got away with it. Tell me what you think about this. The contractor I ended up going with, this is part of the 163 grand breakdown basically. I got a verbal quote for 120 grand, and that's what we ended up going with. I didn't have anything in writing at all. That is not something that you should do. I just rolled the dice basically. I thought, all right, I can't do this any other way. I paid for the convenience of just getting it done a little bit quicker basically, and he come up with that figure off the top of his head in a way, but that's because he builds houses like as a developer basically. Okay, so what did that 120 grand include? It ended up a little bit more than that. I'll come to that in a minute. So it was the initial site clearance because there was still concrete slab there that needs to be taken up. Obviously he had his own digger and stuff, and there was a bit of transportation because he took the concrete to one of his other sites to be crushed. It included some plant hire, just a big 5-ton dumper. No muck away because that all got dumped on my land. The foundations were dug, the concrete was poured. That was 100 cubic meters altogether, I think it was. Foundation blocks, it includes the steel work, the steel erection. It includes all of the brickwork as well, everything up to like wall plate height on the roof, a block and beam floor. It's a 100mm cavity, so it includes the insulation in there. It includes the cut roof that was built, all the roof battening and everything. It includes the roof covering, which is corrugated cement board, or sheets rather. Roof windows as well, even though I had to refit a couple. So that was the general shell. It was supposed to include the drainage as well, but I ended the contract because we had issues with the roof that he wasn't willing to address, that I had to sort out myself. So I said, right, let's just call it here. I had enough of doing loads of work, but paying him for me to do it effectively. Okay, so somehow from the original 120 grand that he said, he just bumped it up to, he started saying 130 instead of 120. That was part of the reason why I got rid of him as well, because I just thought he's just going to try and push me. There was no justification for it. I didn't want to ask him. I didn't want any confrontation because he's one of them dickheads that basically he threatens to weigh you in. That's one of the things that happened when I basically ended the contract. I paid in installments. I'd pay like 20 grand every like couple of weeks or something. I'd always do it so he was effectively out of pocket in a way, because he even told me himself, don't pay people in advance, and then he tried to get me to pay in advance to him, and I said, no, you even told me not to do that, so I will pay you when you've reached certain stages basically, and then I'll basically pay up to that point. So the end kind of payment, it just felt like, I think the end payment was like 25 grand or something. I was already paid him 100. It felt wrong. It felt like I shouldn't be paying him that much, but it was just like, right, let's just fucking draw a line under it basically. So yeah, we agreed 125 grand. So he knocked 5 grand off because he hadn't done the drainage, which I will then do myself, and that's obviously the next cost. Just to backtrack a little bit, the original foundations, I was meant to get a piles with a ring beam and a slab. That was complicating matters, and I got a quote in for like 85 grand. So what the original arrangement was going to be was I would pay for the piles separately, and then he would do the ring beam and the slab as part of the 120 grand quote. It was just costing too much money, so I then rearranged it, and I used something that's called spons to basically price up everything and compare it to trench fill foundation, and I managed to get my structural engineer to change the plan, so I done a trench fill instead. So I would say I probably saved at least 40 grand on that aspect of it. So I felt like I was kind of like quids in a way. Like I'd already saved money, so I kind of felt okay about the 120 grand, and I was doing so much because I was trying to keep the cost down to stop him from just bumping it up at the end. Because of that, the way that he reduced the level to make it flat, we kind of created a little bit of a bowl in clay, so it was filling with water underneath. I'm not sure we would have got away with that or not, but I didn't want to risk it, so I dug out down to the foundation again, and I tanked all of the walls, and I put in French drains around the whole outside. So in terms of all of the tanking, all of the actual twin wall land drains, all of the drainage, like the soil pipes connecting up to the water sewage treatment plant, all of that equipment come to £3,000. The plant equipment that I had to do all that, I probably spent about £1,000 on that maybe. The aggregate, all of the shingle and everything, I spent £1,000 on that as well. £1,000 on the security door. That's for the plant room, and the windows, everything that I fitted there. The windows, they're all triple glazed aluminium. That comes to 19,000. This is all without VAT, by the way. I used expanding foam tape, and obviously I have to pay for the closers and like packers and silicone and stuff like that probably come to £1,000 as well. From there, you're looking at the PIR insulation that I've got, and the rock wall, or earth wall rather, that all come to 11,500. There's probably another few bits that I forgot, and I've paid obviously a few other mates and stuff to help me. So yeah, but all in all, it comes roughly to 163,000 just for that building as it is. Right, I said I'll tell you how much money we've got left. I'll show you my bank account on my phone now. So 67,500. We are doing this mortgage free, no borrowings whatsoever. That's how much I've got left. I do owe £5,000 into that pot because I bought my digger with it. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get that £5,000. Hopefully my YouTube channel will do well and I will have that money that I can put back in, but that's only if people watch my videos. That's only if they subscribe. You're looking at 70 grand. Do you reckon I could finish that? I think the only contractors that I'm going to get in, I need to get the electrician in. I need to get the, I'm having an air source heat pump. They need to come in. But you get the grant for that anyway, and we've already paid a deposit, which wasn't included in that 163,000. So, I mean, that's only a few grand. I say only, but you know what I mean. Plasterer, I don't think I'll do that myself. That's it, I think. Yeah, everything else. Oh, screeders, I'm going to get it liquid screed. So obviously I'll pay someone else to do that. But I would do everything else. I do the underfloor heating. I will do all the plumbing. He won't let me do the second fix on the electrics. I'll do all of the flooring. I'll build all of the walls. I'll fit the kitchen. I'm gonna build the kitchen myself, hopefully. I might pay someone to do worktops if Lou won't let me do what I want to do. Yeah, I'll fit all the doors. I'll do all the painting. Basically everything. So I'll save a load of money on like labour and not paying other people like, I don't know, £250, £300 a day for that. Or I might get a brickie in for a day. But yeah, everything else I do myself. I reckon I could probably finish the inside. I'm not sure about the outside in terms of, oh, I need to do the MVHR as well. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, it might end up, I don't know, maybe it'd be closer to 100. Not sure where I'm going to get that money from, but it might be that. Don't know. What do you reckon? So yeah, I've done this video as a kind of like a soft comeback because like I said, I haven't been very well, and I'm not quite sure what the issue is properly yet. But I did end up in A&E at one point because I needed to check whether I'd had a stroke or was potentially having an heart attack. So yeah, I'll tell you all about that one day when we actually get to the bottom of it. And this video as well, I've done it because Robin done one last week, Robin Clevitt, and it was quite interesting. He's had over 100,000 views, so I don't see why this one can't. And if you are subscribed, in the future, when I finish, I will give you a proper breakdown of absolutely everything, what everything costs, and I'll also get a valuation as well to see how much money we've made out of it. Till then, I might see you next week, I might not.